Hello everybody, it's Eric Freeze. Today we're coming to you from my living room, showing you this, I don't know what year this is, pedestal fan. So this fan's kind of the special one in my collection, being that I've had this one for a long time, and it's probably one of the fans I've held on to for the longest time. So, that's something I should say. It's a 16-inch fan. It's actually a Lakewood, but I've rebranded it SMC because there was a period of time, I think about 4 or 3 years ago, where I wanted an SMC pedestal fan. So I decided to rebrand this one as SMC. So that explains that. But that's been on there forever. I kind of refuse to remove it. This fan actually is branded as Lakewood. Homes rebranded a lot of Lakewood fans, I think, shortly after Lakewood went out of business. And I believe you can still buy them today, but they're nowhere near as the quality of a vintage Lakewood. So I just call them Lake Turds. Base on this one is really flimsy. As you can see, it's actually slouching all over the place. Yeah. If I can get the cord untangled around the base, that would be nice. There's the back side of it, typical Holmes motor housing. This is model OSF. Yeah, OSF 1610C. It's obviously made in China. I'll just tilt the head around this way. It's push button. Bearings on this one are really good. This has a Sunbeam motor in it. These are probably some of my favorite motors to be in modern fans because they don't really fail. I've seen a lot of pedestal fans, even actually the older SMCs and stuff from the early 2000s, they actually have Sunbeam motors in them. Much like the, actually I don't think my 2000 SMC, the arch based, I don't think that one has a Sunbeam motor in it, but I know my 2009 Ocean Air and then my other 2009 Ocean Air pedestal fan, those have Sunbeam motors in them. So I think that other SMC has an ET of some kind. Anyway, we'll start up on low speed. Actually, I'll turn off this box fan first, even though it's probably silent because I'm using like my quietest box fan I own. The buttons on this fan have a nice feel to them. This is like the fan I have in my collection I like to consider like old reliable, because this fan seems to be like the best pedestal fan I own. Mostly because this one has lasted the longest. Not really because I've owned it the longest, but this is my go-to pedestal fan. It always was my go-to pedestal fan. It's always the fan I know is going to work every time, even though it is a modern piece of junk. And it kind of still currently is, even though I have a few other pedestal fans. There was a short period of time when I actually had that 18-inch V-Air high velocity pedestal fan. That was actually my go-to pedestal fan, but I actually lended that out to one of my neighbors because they wanted a nice fan to use, so I lended it to them. So this is once again my go-to pedestal fan. It's actually quite quiet. I remember this one being loud, but it's actually quiet. I put this ribbon on like the day I got it, so it's been on here as long as I could remember. Medium. It doesn't have much blade pitch, but so on medium and high it's a bit noisy, but it is actually a pretty strong fan. Air movement on this is pretty reasonable. It's actually, the air movement on this is about as much as a Lasco 3733 box fan, or maybe even a bit more. So I definitely recommend this fan. You can actually buy these branded Homes, a bunch of other brands I believe. There's High Speed. High Speed, not that much noise compared to medium, but it seems to move a bit more air. Not that much more, but it seems to move a bit, I have to say it does move a bit more air. So I have to feel like High Speed on this, it's less noise than Lasco 3733, but it's about the same amount of air. I actually don't think the breeze on this would surpass a 3733 though. Up close, definitely. Yeah, maybe it does surpass the 373. I'm a bit on the fence of it. I've not worked on it. I've not been around a 373 in a while, but I do know it's definitely in terms of air movement, this fan is actually quite good for a 6-inch pedestal. It's a lot better than the Lion Breeze pedestal fans I showed before, that one I have. It's about, I have to say it's about, I think the Nortex is a bit more stronger than this. Here's I don't feel like engaging the oscillator because the oscillator knob on it's broken. I broke that a while ago. It's been broken, I think, since last year. Kind of an interesting thing because I've not really ran this fan on Oscillation that much in my years of owning it. This fan goes in my basement every year usually. It's the basement fan, the dedicated basement fan for the TV room. Once again, the Vier was the fan used for that area, but not anymore. There's Oscillation. The oscillator on this is actually really nice. It has a really wide oscillation path on it. As you can see, its stand is slouching, so it's going to teeter-totter. So, if I wanted to make it stop, I can put something underneath the base like so. Here's medium. It rattles pretty bad too sometimes. It's surprisingly not rattling tonight. It's still teeter-tottering a bit. This little cap here likes to rattle. This cap here sometimes rattles. The grill rattles sometimes. The stand is the part that really rattles the most. Here's a high speed. With the oscillation. We'll see if I can get it to stop. No, I can't. And this is what I mean by stop, because this right here is the oscillator engagement knob. If I pull back on it with a lot of force on the knob, I can get it to stop. That's what I've been doing, but I need to literally find a new oscillator knob for it. Here's this 2016, 2017-ish SMC Lake Turd pedestal fan. I've not filmed this one for a while, so I decided to do a revisit. This one's obviously fused. Apparently the blade's off balance in it. It is fused with a replaceable fuse.